Happy New Year. I'm back, and I think I'm back for the long run. This YouTube thing is just you. But I'm back. Happy New Year. Welcome back. So it's the new year. We want a job. We need all things job. We need all things career. We need to make money. I've been getting a whole lot of people that are asking me on Instagram, WhatsApp, social media in general. They're like, how did you get a job? I sent an email and I sent my CV in and I sent this and I sent that, but I just keep getting rejected. Well, stay tuned, because this video is basically the most quickest and easiest way of how to neaten up your resume and how to nail the job. The first thing I do want to mention is cleaning up your resume. Some people still have a 17-paged resume. You don't need that anymore. You really don't need. You just need a clean, neat, ordered resume. And what you need on your resume is a great cover letter. Now, a cover letter does not have to be a big letter or a big description. It's just basically a summary of who you are, what you can do, what are your skills, you know, where you're heading at, like what is your vision, you know, what is the reason why you are even applying for jobs or whatever. So your summary at the top needs to be clean, focused, well written, well said, followed by identity. And this identity is pretty much your everything. Full name as stated on your ID, so you're not Dooms Mazabs. Okay, it's Dumelo Mazabani. So full name as it is on your passport or your ID. That's what you need. You need an email address, Skype ID, so create a Skype account. Usually most of the international recruitment agencies want to have a face-to-face, but you're not in the country. So Skype is definitely important. So make sure you've got a Skype account that is working and you've got visible connection as well, which I'll talk about later. So make sure that your Skype ID is there, a full email address, a working email address is valid. The education part, usually they're looking for the last level of education. So if the last level of education happens to be high school, then write down high school, finish that level, matric, or you went on to college and you finished that with a diploma, certificate, or whatever. So your last level of education is very important. Followed by your jobs. So the last 3 years, where have you worked? Or 5 years, I think. So the last 5 years, where did you work pertaining to the job that you're applying for? So if you're applying to be a painter, you worked at Plascon for a couple of years, you worked as a painter, just prove that you are pretty much liable for this job or reliable for this job that you are applying. Along with those jobs, make sure you have a good reference too. Nothing is amazing than having a manager, a previous employee that has known you for a while to be your reference as well. So make sure they have valid numbers and emails and a good contact, and make sure that they're not trying to, you know, not get you to get the job, because that's not nice. So make sure you got a good reference and make sure that everything is listed down below. Another thing you can also add onto your CV is skills. So what are your skills? What are you good at? What have you trained in that can help you ace that interview as well? So if you've got some special talents and special skills, that's also big and a plus when it comes to nailing a good interview. Now we're going to move on to documents that you should have on file and handy, saved on your hard drive, saved on your computer, saved on your phone. Make sure you have a professional headshot of yourself. This way the person overseas is able to see who they're working with. So get your cameras out and take that nice professional headshot, or you can get your passport photos and just scan that so you've got a copy of your face, as well as a full body photo. That also is just something that you can keep on file if you're looking to be a hostess on board a cruise ship or a model and they just need to know who they are seeing. Make sure you also have copies of all necessary documents on hand. So make sure your file or folder is full, and make sure that when you're save everything under a work folder. That way it's easy to access a copy of your passport, your valid visa, your medical documents, or any other documents that they might need in hand. So an organized folder of all work-related documents should be saved under one file for easy access, and that way there's no hassles and you're not having to run to Kodak or Postnet to have copies done. You already have copies into a specific folder. It makes life way easier, and if they are in a folder, you can just send everything, compress one into one zip file and send it to the person required. On that note, most of the folders, or actually documents needed, should be in a PDF format. When you're applying for specific jobs, make sure that you are flexible. There's nothing like being able to, as soon as they ask you, when will you be available? Then you know that all you can just say is yesterday. So make sure you're flexible, make sure you're available for anything, for the interview, for the actual job. So if you're currently in a job right now, make sure that you give yourself time and just be honest. Just tell them that you just need to serve your 3 months notice before applying a specific job. Otherwise, if you're available now. Okay, so I did mention being available now, but that means you need to have a valid visa and a valid passport. So keep that in mind to make sure that all your documents are valid and are within a required month or year. So if you do have a medical needs to last you up to 2 years, and if it's about to expire now, I suggest you renew any documents. Make sure they're fresh and ready to go to last you 2 or 3 contracts before renewing onto the actual interview. Most interviews are done or are conducted via Skype. So make sure you have good connection. So have good Wi-Fi connection. Make sure that you are visible to that person. So if you do have a friend, try and do a testing 1 2 3, call that person, see if you're visible, if you can hear each other, put on your headphones, and that will also help with the microphone as well. So make sure your connection is. Appearance does matter. So if you're a woman, light makeup, make sure your hair is out of your face, make sure that you're wearing business attire. So whether it's a white blouse top or a black blouse, a navy blouse, but mainly formal wear is recommended when doing an interview. Make sure that your space behind you is clear, so you're not in the kitchen where mommy's cooking, or you are at work and there's too much noise. Make sure your background is clear so that they can see, and don't be having face tattoos and stuff. If you're not sure on any questions that are asked on an interview, you can definitely Google and search general basic interview questions. This will minimize you rambling on and on and on, keeping everything simple. And finally, when they ask you that, do you have any questions for me? Always say yes, and this gives you a little advantage so that you're kind of getting that interaction with that person. So make sure you Google more about the company. Those are some few ideas how to make it and nail your next interview. Keeping it simple is the name of the game. I have a new video up on the eye or down in the description box about all the different agencies that you can apply for on cruise ships, and I hope to see you guys on my next video.